It's bullshit.
Breakfast.
I've got it on ultra wide.
Please test me for rabies.
Yeah, so the last time, okay, I need you to get up and look and see if I'm in the frame, would you? I think I am, but I'm just taking a guess here.
Oh, yeah. Except it's doing my favorite thing, cutting your head off. That's nice.
Is it cutting the head off?
No.
Really? Okay. Because that would just I'd have to throw that in the trash too.
I told you what I used to do with film camera.
What's that?
Did I tell you that story? Oh, Liz used to get so pissed at me. You know, every once in a while, back in the day, well, they still do it. People would say, hey, can you take our picture for us? Here's the camera and blah, blah, blah. And I used to love to, oh, yeah, I'll do that. And I literally would cut their heads off and say, oh, yeah, it's a great shot.
Well, now that's not so easy to do
you
because they can review it.
Oh, I know. You can't do that anymore. But when it was film camera, you could. And I was just that kind of an asshole. I just thought it was so funny. Liz, I'd tell her, I says, yeah, I cut their heads off. What? Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I told you about Lynchburg when I went to see Jack Daniel's distillery, right? Okay. This is something I didn't know. If you ever go to Lynchburg, you have got to go to Miss Bobo's boarding house, and it's a very cool experience because what they do is it's an old boarding house, and they've opened up these rooms, and it's just one big table, and you come in and you sit with people from all over.
Oh yeah.
And they serve. You don't order; they serve what they're serving.
Right.
And, it's like, family dinner, okay?
Right.
And it is just a great experience. Like, I was the last one to get in. I didn't know anything about this. And I'm like, this is very cool. I saw this place because I just want to look Lynchburg over a little bit. And I saw this place, and, I went in, and I'm talking to the ladies, and I'm like, what is this? And she's explaining. I says, can I get in? She says, well, they're just almost starting. Let me check. I got in on the last slot open.
They were able to slop you some food in and call it good. Huh?
And I went up there. It was upstairs, and big long table. All these people sitting around. I sit down, and we get to talking. Folks next to me from New York. There was a lady from Melbourne, Australia, with a friend. And had a good time talking to her. I says, oh, yeah, my favorite, I'm telling her about the world's best dim sum. She goes, that's it. That's the place. And so anyhow, it was very cool. But as I'm walking out, these four ladies are taking pictures in the front. And as I'm walking out, they go, sir, can you help us with take our picture in front of the, because it's kind of cool looking. And I says, oh, sure. So as I'm talking to him and everything, it was, I had a Samsung phone at the time where all you did was just touch the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she handed me an iPhone, and you got to hit the button, little screen button, right? So I'm asking her, I says, do you just touch the screen? And she goes, oh, yeah, just touch the screen. Thinking, yeah, touch the button. And I'm thinking, just touch the screen. So I'm telling them about what I did back in the day with film camera and everything. Yeah, I used to do this just to be mean, cut people's heads off. And so I says, okay, everybody, hold on. And I touched the screen, and I thought nothing happened, but, I didn't know, okay? And I says, okay, so good shot. And I walk away, get in the car, and head over to the distillery. So I'm standing out front, and got out of the car, and I'm standing in front of the distillery on the porch there. And these ladies, come walking up because that's what they're doing. And I says, hey, so that picture turned out all right? And they looked at me, and they're like, you didn't take it. I'm like, what? yeah, you didn't take the picture. And I'm like, yes, I did. And I says, I says, now wait a minute. I asked you, do you just touch the screen? I said, let me look at your phone. I'm like, oh, you meant touch that button.
Oops.
And I says, I'm sorry. And
Where it'll make a click.
I said, I'm sorry, especially after telling you what I used to do. I'm sure you don't trust me a bit. And they're like, we don't.
No. We'll ask a kid. They know how to use smartphones.
Yeah, don't ask an old fart like me. So that was kind of fun. And they forgave me, But if you go there, I took this one tour where it's a tasting of all their product.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Daniels has they do have some products that are pretty good, but they're pretty expensive. And but anyhow, went through the distillery and all that stuff. Which I guess the chemist side of me was like, wow, this is interesting.
Right.
I mean, they make alcohol by the tank truck full, not a little drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is running like, so, but it's very interesting to watch, or to go through.
Well,
if you ever get a chance, they make their own charcoal.
Well, I was going to say, because they charcoal the barrels?
Right. Well, they do that too, but they make their own charcoal to filter.
Oh, okay, for filtration.
Yeah, for the filtration, it's pretty cool. And they show you how it's done and where they do it and all this stuff. And, the other thing I think I told you about this was when you're coming into Lynchburg, you'll start seeing on like metal buildings and stuff, this looks like black mold on it, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I know what that is, because I'd read a little bit about it, not there, but about making whiskey.
Right.
And oops, can't touch the table. So
makes it authentic.
Yeah. When you're making whiskey, I forgot what the process is, but it literally puts this black film on everything around it, especially the trees. The trees are just literally, the trunks are black.
Huh.
And I had read about what it was about and what that was, and it was indicative of making whiskey. It's how the revenuers used to find the stills. They get into an area and they'd see the trees are black around them. They knew a still was in the area. And when you get to Lynchburg, all the metal buildings, especially, they've got this black mold-looking thing. And so when you're taking the tour, after you get through the filter house, you take these steps up, and there's this oak tree at the top of it, and it's just black as that. These chairs.
Right.
And so I'm standing up there, and the tour guide says, "Just wanted to point this out." And she told the story about what I had read about.
Right.
The process does this. You might see it all over town and everything, but the process does this to trees and stuff like that. That's why this tree is so black. And I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Well, what is that?
It's the off-gassing. It has nutrients in it. And,
do the trees benefit from that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt them.
Okay.
But it's just, the story behind the revenuers. That's why those guys would pick up and move,
Probably that's where the name Black Forest came from, too.
Of course, they did beer.
Yeah, the Germans, they did beer. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went back, I was trying to, the last video I did, I had the two cameras. They have their own audio track. And then we have these microphones, and that's its own audio track. Well, what happens is the cameras, they're on an SD card, And instead of just a linear recording, it'll record up to like 4 gig, and it'll stop and create a new chunk.
Oh,
So getting everything synced up, it got to where it was just so laborious. I just said, I shall come up with a better idea. And this is the better idea. I was talking to Fred, and I said, there's got to be a better way. I said, I need audio and video and just all
yeah.
lay it on one track.
Sure. Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I've got more than enough storage on this phone to do that. So I'll take this video and I'll suck it into the computer and get it off my phone.
Yeah.
And work it that way. Now, I have been trying to kick around some ideas about thumbnailing. What are we going to call this? What do we want to call it? Bro breakfast. That sounds kind of cliche.
Yeah. I'd call it
J&D.
no, BBB, bro bullshit breakfast.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, because what are we doing?
Yeah,
You know.
telling our tales.
Yeah. And making
Embellishing our tales.
embellishing, making them our way. So
This is how I saw it
yeah.
go down.
So it's like I told her, our narcissism is taken over. Now we're recording us. We're
Yeah.
pretty much up there on the level. It's all about me.
Oh shoot. Well, like I finally got that memorial done for Mary.
Oh, you sent that to Dave, didn't you?
I put it on Facebook and tagged Dave.
Okay, yeah, because
and he's responded.
yeah, he asked me about it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I saw it.
Yeah. I know I tagged him. I tagged Lori because she starts off the memorial with
Lori Neval?
Neval. Yeah. She goes to our old house on Hart Street.
She does, huh?
Yeah. And she talks about her and Mary's relationship.
Does she still live out in Looking Glass?
10 Mile.
Or 10 Mile, yeah.
Yeah, she lives out on 10 Mile still. So I finally got that done. It's only 2 years, but that was the most fighting back at me kind of video to put together that I've ever encountered. But that's done. So, and I did it with brother in mind because he couldn't attend the memorial.
Right.
So
No, that's okay.
Yeah, he was very he was very grateful that was put together for him, or put together so that he could see it.
Well, no, that's good.
Yeah. And then okay, when you have security lights, motion lights and stuff, the photocells, the motion detector, they last about 6 hours and then they're dead.
Yeah.
They're cheap. Anyway, I was replacing the one over the lab, replaced that one, and the one over Rebecca's window, that's that little driveway there. And the one on the little driveway is a halogen light. And I get it all mounted and everything and heated, and I go to put that halogen light in, and I think either the spring, loaded, it's 2 sockets, one side spring loaded, just fighting with that thing to try and get it in. And I finally get it in, and I know that it's heated and the motion's working and everything like that because there's a little red LED on there that reacts.
Yeah.
Light won't go on. Just like, whatever. Okay, now I got to go and buy another light for it.
You mean the bulb?
The bulb.
Yeah,
it's not firing off. But I know there's power because that little LED's responding and reacting.
Yeah.
And I bought at Walmart these little because our walkway path in the front, you know, at night, you got to have a camera or something with a light so you can see what's going on. I bought these solar powered little LEDs. I bought 2 of them and mounted them on the stanchions. And that night I went out and they got motion detection to go on. Those little fellows light up. And
Nice.
yeah, those little fellows light up real well. Then, of course, I walk in front of the halogen light, and it's like, lemon, don't work. Then I go out to the lab, and right when I get to the fence, then the light comes on. I'm going, okay, well, that's what I want. I don't want it firing off as the car's pulling in the driveway.
Yeah.
You know? So that's good. So those were my chores. And the girls are painting inside, and they got the house a wreck. I don't care. And I said, don't you get me involved in this little project the girls got going on. And Karen hates painting. And
I do too.
her product reflects how much she hates it.
I'm getting to where I hate any of this stuff.
I'm like, oh, good Lord. I said, Karen, I said, you painted the molding, the wood molding. I said, you got it up on the molding and you went over this other yeah, there's no molding up there. And then finally she conceded, oh yeah, there is wood molding up there. Yeah, you painted over it.
Yeah. Stop
Now,
doing
I'll be happy to critique your work,
Oh,
but I'm not going to do your work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I do.
He does.
Over here.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's where I was going. I appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Got lucky.
I got lucky.
Got lucky. I come out of the kitchen.
That's been my life. I got lucky.
Move your hand. I sure don't want to scald it.
Burn it.
You won't
Go
like
ahead.
it. Won't like me no
It'll
more.
take his mind off his knees.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks. Yeah. So check this out, folks. We're at Jan's.
Ooh, the big Jan
This is a
omelet.
Jan.
Can't go wrong with the Jan omelet. Oh, she did. Yeah, the butter and the pepper.
Butter and pepper.
Butter. Thank you.
Great combination.
Perfect. So what did your week consist of?
Well, some things I'm learning doing the eBay thing
Yeah.
is unless it's in a package, I'm not buying anything electronic again.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I bought one of a while back. I bought this Sony boombox with the bass, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, everything worked. I checked it. You know, checked everything over. It worked just fine.
Yeah.
No, no statics or anything like that.
Right. Pinchinometers were working fine.
And so I, guy bought it from me I had it listed at 45, made an offer for 38.50. I'm like, it's been in the garage long enough. Yeah, fine. I mean, the way I look at things is I'm not just getting my money back. I'm making a little bit, right?
That's the objective. Yeah.
So the guy wants to return it because scratchiness in the volume when you turn the volume up,
So the pintinometer.
Yeah, pinching yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, whatever. But one saving grace is eBay, if you put it on there with the listing, you can return it but you have to pay the shipping back. I don't have to.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'll accept the return. Going to be a deterrent to some people because, this is in Miami, Florida. Not a lot of money, but, some people are like, well, maybe I can live with it. I don't want to pay for that. I mean, I'll refund the money once I get it and look at it, But that's kind of the stuff that, goes with the territory. But I'm telling you, I just have not done real well with electronics.
Can be finicky.
Yeah. And now, when it comes to like radios, old tube radios, I say right up front, it's got capacitor hum. They're all going to have it. If those things are, the last one I sold was a 1963 model.
Right.
And it played good. It didn't have any, but I just say it anyhow. It's got, capacitor hum. So you're going to have to, you buy it as is, So.
Well, I tell you, Fred did a bang up job cleaning up that stereo console. He took it back to Houston with him. He pretty much reached the end of what he could do here, so he took it back. But I mean, you're right. You're going to get, unless you replace the capacitors and stuff like that, and some of them he did replace, you're going to get noise.
Yeah. I mean, and now they make capacitors, you'll never get noise again.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, they had dielectrics in them, and that stuff leaks out. And so anyhow, no big deal. But that's one thing, and I'm waiting for the guy to send it back.
All right.
But I went to an auction yesterday in Mount Ida. And 3 things I learned about this person just looking at their stuff. I believe he was a judge, a district judge.
Okay.
The house is a interesting late 70s, 80s design. It had an open kitchen. It had had the den, had the living room, all this great access to outside. All the bedrooms had doors that you could go outside.
Oh,
it was really cool. I mean, nice thought.
Uh-huh.
It's thought through well. Just too many steps. I'm like, and I can tell you they realized their mistake because they put in one of those little rails that takes you upstairs.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, you really should have thought of that. But anyhow, I
no one thinks about getting old.
I figured out the guy was Democrat, Methodist, and what else? There was one other thing. Democrat, Methodist, and I can't think of the third thing. But anyhow.
Gun owner.
Probably. I mean, everybody's a gun owner. Seems like. I mean, you live in the country and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm getting to where, and I think it's my fault, I love to take a nap in the afternoon. And if the auction goes past, gets past lunchtime,
right,
I'm looking over everything really hard and thinking, do I really want to wait for that? And this time it was raining, and I ended up getting 2 items that I wanted, and there was still a whole porch full of stuff that was covered, but I'd look underneath it and nothing's jumping out at me, And I said enough. I left. So, but I did get a nice shelving unit.
Oh,
the metal wire.
Sure.
I mean, it's the 48-inch size, which I need for the garage. I mean, I've got stock filled everywhere.
Right.
And I'm like, I got to get a couple of more of these.
Right.
And so I was real happy with that because the price was only $35 for this thing, and you are going to easily pay $150 to $175 for it.
Well, and that's the thing. You need shells that can bear some weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave Mark I'm working on the outbuilding right now and reorganizing that and putting shelves, taking the shelves out of the lab, you know, those black shelves.
Mhm.
I took those out of the lab and put them in the storage unit, and I had one heart, which is just half-inch particle board that you get at Walmart, but it can bear some weight. That's the one I had in the corner by the big door.
Yeah.
You know the one? Yeah. That's where I had those computers and stuff sitting there. Anyway, that's the thing. I mean, I had a lightweight white one that, you know, it started bowing and stuff. And when Mark and Nova came over for Bible study, I asked him, I said, you know, he had disassembled a storage shed at one of their properties and reassembled it on the property they're on now. And I told Karen, I said, this is probably going to be useful for Mark, at least for lightweight stuff. Put anything 50 pounds on it and it's just going to die on you. But yeah. So that's one of my projects right now is I'm getting the storage shed organized again so I can find things. Right. I'm still missing stuff. I'm like, where is this? And I can't find anything. Well, find things I'm looking for. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm trying to get that. But, you know, the weather is not conducive for me to, you know, step outside, do anything. But, Mary's dog, Harley Bell.
Yeah.
And put her to sleep. Yeah. That happened last week, Wednesday or Thursday. She had, usually what happens, in the morning I'll get up, make coffee, sit at the counter and go through YouTube and listen to YouTube videos. And she'll stand at the top of the stairs and bark, say, hey, come get me, bring me downstairs, because she's very unsure of herself. And she'll tumble and stuff. So I'll go get her. And so I get her and I put her on the floor and I rub her and pet her and love on her. And then she takes off, right? That's what she does. That's our routine. Well, I get back on the counter and she goes into a grand mal seizure, serious grand mal seizure. And she's just in this seizure at the refrigerator. And I pick her up and I hold her tight and go up and wake up Karen and tell her that she's having this she was still having it, serious seizure. And finally that subsided. And so she had calmed back down and she likes to stay up there in the computer room. There are 3 or 4 dog beds up there and water and, you know, puppy pads and stuff. So I let her go and she goes in there and goes to lay down. And I come back. I went to the restroom. And at this time, Karen had already left. And I went to the restroom and I heard this thump, thump, thump. Oh, what's up? So when I finish in the restroom, I get up and she's down in the kitchen and she's walking the wall perimeter inside the kitchen and the laundry area. And so she had stumbled downstairs is what she did. And she was at the laundry washing machine and she growled at me. She didn't know who I was. So I just sat down on the floor and put my hand out until she could determine that I'm safe and who I am. Then I picked her up and I called Karen and I said, yeah, it's time for her to rest.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I got Robert. Robert came in, and Robert Bonner, and I know Robert, and I know Russ. The other vets, although they're fine, I don't know them as well as I know Robert and Russ. So they put a catheter in her arm, and I was able to keep her held, and while he put in something, knocks him out for like surgeries and then euthanize. But that's it. That's the last remnant of Mary that I had, and
Yep.
sad.
No, that's always sad.
Mm-hmm.
That is always sad. I don't even like talking about it.
Me either. I just bawl my eyes out. Yeah. She was a good dog. Give her more life, but you got to let go.
Yeah, I
Can
know.
be selfish. Yeah. That's just part of the game of pet ownership. Who was I talking? I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to, but it must have been Nova or Mark, one of those two. I was conveying the story about you go into Liz's church when they feed.
Yeah.
And I told them the story because they had attended a church in Midway, old Baptist church there, and I was telling them, I said Joe, he'll go to Liz's church, Methodist, right? Methodist church only if they're feeding, and that you went one evening or one day, there was some singing event going on, and the pastor
Cantata.
yeah, oh yeah, and the pastor's like, "What are you doing here? We're not feeding." I thought, oh, that's epic right there. That's classic. When the pastor's like, "What are you doing here?"
They had us over at their house at the parsonage with another couple. The wife is the organist, and he plays piano too. But had us over, and I'm like, well, he never said what this was about. I'm thinking, oh
Right.
man. I told Liz, I says, it's either an intervention for you or me.
But hey, is there food involved?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And so we had us in. We're all and what it was a celebration of Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what day that was. That it was why it was, but anyhow, he said normally when you on this day you serve haggis.
Oh.
And I'm like, did you make haggis? He goes, no, we're doing corned beef.
Oh.
I says, that's Irish. He goes, I know, but that's close as we're going to get to haggis. And it was really cool, and the food was good, really good. I mean, they cooked up a good corned beef and fried cabbage, and it was all real good. And they so while we're eating, he'd stop us every once in a while and read some Scottish poetry, and I'm like, this is very cool. I enjoyed that.
Wow.
So
I'm interested.
Yeah,
why you two were invited to this cultural.
Well, we had them over with some other friends for I made up.
Because we're not Scottish.
Yeah, no. We had them over about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, them and some other folks from the church,
Uh-huh.
and Andy, holy moly, Andy Pope and his wife,
Uh-huh.
they go to the Mineral Springs Methodist Church.
Okay.
But anyhow, had them over, and I made up like 4 different types of chili. You know, something I like to do, and so I guess they thought that was okay to, have us over.
Oh,
and
okay.
To reciprocate, I guess.
Well,
But it was interesting. I enjoyed it, and I like this guy. He's retiring in June.
from pastoralship or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And his wife is Rusty Smith's sister.
Oh, okay.
She's one of those guys. But long story short, it was a great little get together.
Oh. Yeah, because I couldn't make the connection. Scottish culture,
Yeah.
and you guys, I don't know. Couldn't get it.
But yeah, they made a great big to do of it, and I loved it.
Are they Scottish?
Well, I don't know. Is Harrison a Scottish name?
Oh.
I don't either.
Man, that was good. That's just what I needed right there.
Jan doesn't disappoint.
We have to arrange a time with Jan to go down to her barn,
Yeah, I'd like to do
do a
that.
walkthrough. I bet you 10 to 1 what she's going to do is just give us a key and say, go on down there and find something interesting. Let me know.
We'll have to tell her, turn the cameras on. You can't trust us.
We'll wear body cams.
And then when she sees the blank spot, well, we turned the cameras off. We didn't want you to know what we were doing.
She's got a lot of stuff down there, that's for sure.
I never went in there, but I wasn't in the mode I am now.
Right. Right. Yeah, she's definitely got some stuff down there.
It's like Joanna Howard's place that she bought from Willie Click. I call it my candy store. I mean, there's so much stuff in there.
So, did Joanne buy Willie Click's little building there next to the railroad track?
Yep.
Now, was
And
it
all the stuff in
Joanne
it.
or was it Pauline?
Who?
Pauline. Paula.
It's Joanna. She owns it. Her and her mom kind of run it.
I guess I'm failing to make the connection because the Joanne Howard, our cousin that I know, she's not very mobile.
No. This is the Joe. This is Joanne Howard that you know. Her son married this girl. Her name's Joanna too, but it wasn't Howard.
Now he's a preacher out at Blue Bible.
Yeah, he's doing that. Yeah, he's doing Dad's job.
Yeah,
He's doing that, and also he sells insurance.
insurance. What is his name? Good Lord, I can't believe I forgot. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey there, you got lucky twice.
I'm telling you, man.
World, this is
Saving
Jan.
lives, too.
Jan, this is World. We were just talking about your barn down there.
Got broke into 2 weeks ago.
Oh no!
I
Well,
got about $7,000 worth of goods.
Oh my gosh. So they got all the good stuff.
Well, they didn't get it all because I think all they had was a pickup.
They
got
loaded
they knew
up.
what they was getting.
Oh no!
What'd they get?
All my jewelry.
Oh.
Had to take the display glasses because it was all under lock and key. My cash register.
You had cash in there?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But
So it's a cool cash register.
yeah, so it's cool. They got them cash register. They're going to bust open.
Check the pawn shops. Check pawn kings.
I done did. Because the new laws wasn't going to do nothing.
No.
Slot machines, depression glass.
Oh.
The list just goes on and on and on.
Well, I was telling Joe, I says, you know, I said, we need to arrange a time with you to go down and go through, do a walkthrough.
And
I told him, I said, she'll probably just give us a key and say, go down there if you
and
find something.
I said, well, she'll probably need to turn the cameras on. You can't trust us. They stay on. Cool.
Oh, that's sad.
Dang it.
Oh, dead burn it. Oh, people just, people are just greedy.
Yep.
Sad. Here's something you'll appreciate. You know how Karen had at the end of at the wall where she was painting in the corner where I sit on the kitchen counter, she has these jars and things and something from her grandmother, like a tea thing. Anyway, Genevieve is going to take the grandmother heirloom with her back to Oregon and another canister, ceramic canister, and the remainders she's going to put on Facebook Marketplace. And I said, wow, Karen, you're actually letting go of things. Well, you know, this was grandmother's. That makes her a great grandmother, so she can have that. And I said, no, the act of you just letting go of something. I said, that's remarkable that you would do something like that. I said, my brother and I said, Joe and I have already come to the plateau, if you will, of nothing means anything to us anymore.
Yep.
There's just no intrinsic, heartfelt value per se for things. I said, are you getting to that point in your life too? She just looked at me and she's like, no. I think we're wearing off on her.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, if you want to see what you think is important and valuable, go to an estate auction
Yeah.
and watch how that all sells.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like a buzzard sitting around the body, but the thing is their job, which I appreciate, because that's how I want them to do me.
Right.
Take all this junk I have, which I never going to be able to. I'm dead,
Yeah.
and sell it and get it out of the house, and that's the purpose of those things. And when you look at that, and you look at these cool little things, and it had significance to somebody.
Yeah.
But not to me. I mean, to me, it's got a resale value.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's gotten to the point. I mean, you and I mean, we have things that do have a value to them, monetary value.
Yeah.
Like whatever that may be, it's got resale value to it, market value. But as far as, it's close to my heart, I can let it go. I've got so much crap that I just want to organize and move off. And offload it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I mean, call me cynical, call me hardened or whatever, but I really can't think of anything that I really want to collect. I almost started collecting uranium glass.
Right.
And I ended up with 2 pieces, and I'm like, nah, I don't want this crap. Because
funnel it back to that woman that you big compete with.
I did get it to her. That one piece I bought, it wasn't for her, it was for her daughter.
Yeah.
The Ray, she's part of the Ray family that has a realtor and stuff.
Terry Ray. Yeah.
And so I took it down to their office. And they call her Zero. I don't know
what?
That's her nickname, Zero.
Zero.
So I left it, I even took my little glass or my light in to, show that, hey, this is uranium glass. But nah, I mean, really, it's just like, what is, and I know I overuse it, but, I don't want to put the romance into anything.
Yeah.
It always gets me in trouble, especially when, like, I'm trying to buy stuff. Every time I do something because it just looks so good to me, it doesn't mean crap to anybody else. And so I've got to get used to that thought,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is I'm like you now. I'm just like my power tools, things like that. I'm going to be using those.
Right. That's you're not.
Those are utility things.
Exactly.
Those aren't collectors.
Utility is part of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just mementos. I mean, Tia bought me a plate when we lived in San Angelo. There was an old hippie colony from the 60s and 70s that how they got away with this, I don't know. A bunch of hippies in West Texas, but they
living amongst the tumbleweed.
They took over this facility. I think it had been a grist mill or something like that. It's right in the middle of town now.
Right.
And but it's called the Chicken Farm. And back in the day, a bunch of hippies converged on here, and they turned it into a little art center. And their biggest thing was making pottery.
Sure. Okay.
And the guy that started the thing, he had he come up with this character called the Star Keeper. Okay. And started producing all this stuff with this character on it, and different stories. They made up their stories and mystical stories about it. The Star Keeper. It's kind of on a Native American turn,
Right.
And if you ever go to San Angelo, as you're coming in, I forgot what highway it is, you'll see these rock structures out there, and they're kind of prominent, kind of like what you see in Monument Valley, except not as big and pronounced.
Right.
But the rock is red, that's for sure. So anyhow, that always is in his pictures too, and so Tia bought me. I used to talk about it while we were there. I'm like, I got to get a couple of those, and I never did. And I ended up, I'd check them out every once in a while, but I never did. Tia got me one for Christmas.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So okay, it's cool. I enjoy that, and it's a nice piece of art, and so. That's the kind of stuff that, okay, I'll keep that. Right. Because I know that, when I kick off, Tia's going to take it.
Sure.
So that's fine. But the rest of it, Shivani's dad from Mumbai, when he came for Christmas, he bought me every time I see something with Ravi Shankar, remember him? He was the guy that did some of the Beatles music. He's on Abbey Road, Let It Be. and on the White Album. Yeah,
was
yeah,
he the India
Yeah, and he-
India influence?
yeah, and he played
Oh, okay.
sitar.
Sitar.
Yeah,
He played
so-
sitar. Yeah.
So every time I find something like that, I always send it to Shivani. Well, she told her dad, and he picked up this little sitar for display and everything. Brought it for Christmas. So that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've got a cricket ball. So when they went to India and had their wedding and everything, I told Dad took Jeremy to a cricket game. Dad and all the uncles
Okay.
took Jeremy to a cricket game, and I says, while you're there, I need a hat, for the local team, which is the Mumbai Indians. Like that's pretty classic. And then the other one was, I says, I want a cricket ball, and so he got a fancy cricket ball. So that's the kind of crap. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That I don't mean to minimize it. It's not crap, but it's thoughtful things.
It was, yeah.
So-
I mean, it has meaning from family
Yeah, I have
associated with it.
a crystal that Diane had made up as a piece of jewelry, big chunk of crystal and everything,
Mhm.
with leather on it and
All right.
and beads and stuff, and I keep Mary's program
Oh.
in my knife collection
Okay.
display cabinet, and so I was told, don't ever get rid of that. That's mine. Tia, she
Yeah.
was like, that's mine. I want that. So again, more stuff. And
But at least it's going somewhere.
yeah.
after, you know.
It has meaning to others as well. So,
Right.
So I try to kick the romance out, and
Well, and that's why I was telling you, I had talked to the girls, Diane's girls, about stuff that I still have of their moms in my storage. And, some of it, you could probably dispose of. But I want them to have it. And I don't think it's my position to dispose of it. I mean, it's not that I can't dispose of it. It's just I don't feel right disposing of it. I think they should make that choice. So that's one of the things in my storage shed is to grab Diane's stuff. And I have Diane's ceremonial box, wooden box, of all her, her dancing feathers, things like that. Her regalias went to one of her sisters in the tribe. And she's got all that. But yeah,
I have been considering contacting the Standing Rock. That's where Tony came from, right? Standing Rock.
was it Standing Rock?
Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, I got to do my homework a little more, but I want to find out. I'd like to send his drum, his acoustic, the beaters to them. And I've got these books that Diane had about the Lakota way, and there's a Lakota dictionary from English to Lakota, and I want to try and get that to them. I'm thinking about calling where I used to work at BIA up in Minneapolis, and see if they could
Point you in the right
point me
direction.
to the right person. I'm sure they have a museum of some sort, and see
Well,
what
they're
I
going
can
to
do.
they're going to want the story behind it.
Yeah.
The drum, the ceremonial drum. So,
Yeah. But anyhow, that's again. I'm trying to take any romance out. Just don't want it to affect my thinking. It's kind of like nothing personal, strictly business.
yeah,
That's all that is.
And-
Somebody is.
and that's kind of how I see it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I held on to Diane's ceremonial box for two reasons. One, I wanted to protect it, and two, it was very important to her. So that's why I've got it. And of course, Tony's drum, that was the same thing, but it's with you, and if you can transport that or get that moved to a museum, that's great.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to make a trip up there.
well, this
I mean,
stuff
it's
is
outside of Yankton, South Dakota, so.
yeah. Well, this stuff is, it has more weight, not monetary value.
No,
weight,
no.
but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has more weight
Oh, absolutely.
to it than your typical wall hanging. I've got wall hangings that I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff?
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, and I do. And I guess it's just the pragmatist in me. I can't think of anything that I want to collect. I am collecting albums, but that's for me.
But you're playing those.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you're listening to that.
Yeah, I found some the other day. That was kind of cool. Get this, I've been looking for the Thriller album.
Yeah.
Found it
Okay.
in Nashville at a moving sale.
Oh.
So it's not in great shape. Okay, get this.
I think we have the Thriller album.
Okay, so I open it up. There's two in there, and I'm like, I don't think there were two albums. Two Thriller albums in one case.
In one jacket.
Yeah, well, yeah. And but the only problem is I need to get a cleaner to clean these up because they're not in perfect shape. But for me, I think it'll be fine because I've got the little system I have. It's all digital, but the little system has a little bit of filtration in there, so I can filter out some of the pops and kicks and stuff. So, but anyhow, found that. And
Well, you're just taking the flavor out of the album when you take the pops and kicks.
I know.
Come on.
And Huey Lewis in the News, one of my favorite albums. The sports, I love that. A Chubby Checker album.
Oh.
Yeah, the real deal, not a remake. And it's in great shape. So
Chubby Checker.
yeah, I can't wait. And there's another one I can't think of. And I asked the guy, I said, so, what do you want for these albums? He's like, 2 for $1. Thank you. So, but anyhow, I look for that kind of stuff myself, anytime. I'll tell you what I'm in search for. Chicago came out with an anthology. You might remember it. I had it.
Yeah, we had the poster on the wall.
Yeah, it came with the poster and everything, and it had 5 albums in it with all those.
I have it.
You give that back to me? That's mine.
No, this one's not.
So
I think I have that one.
I'm looking for that one. I love that.
I don't think it has the post. I have to look again. My albums are all in. Karen and my albums are in a tub. I know that album.
I want that one, and I want the.
Allman Brothers Eat a Peach.
I have that.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want the. The album that was done for the Bangladesh cause with George Harrison.
I don't know.
It had all these stars on there. Leon Russell and all these guys were on it, and it was like the first Farm Aid kind of thing,
All right.
all the proceeds went to help because it had this incredibly bad flood.
Right.
This was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And they did this thing to raise money to help people out and stuff like that. And that's kind of a cool album. There's some good music in there. But yeah, those two I'm always looking for. And now they have Thriller. If I see another one and it's in great shape, I'll take it too. But
Yeah.
I've always loved Thriller. Always.
Well, it's funny too because now that Michael is gone, you would think that the collectible value would go up with his, especially Thriller. No.
Not saying it was the #1 selling album in history, but it doesn't matter to me. I just get them for me. I don't want to get into the business of selling albums, not yet, anyhow.
There's 3 artists that I remember when we lived at the old Phil Waters place that you had that I recall. Chicago, Anthology, Eat a Peach, Allman Brothers, and Traffic.
I have that one too.
Yeah, the
No
Traffic.
Sparks of High Heeled Boys.
Is that? Yeah,
Steve Winwood, those guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those
no,
guys were good.
That was good music. And Robin Trower's Bridge Over River of Sighs.
Robin Trower.
Yeah,
forgot
I have that
about
one.
him. Yeah.
I've got that on CD.
Oh, and Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, Boys Are Back in Town.
Boys are back in town. Thin Lizzy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always looking for that kind of stuff. And, you know, sometimes you find albums that are just in crappy shape. I'm not going to get them.
No.
But if I think they're playable, I'll get them if I want them. You know,
Right.
I'm not looking for everything.
Right.
But I had to get that Chubby Checker. I've got some. I've got a Coltrane album, not in super good shape, but doesn't. You know, I'll listen to the pops.
Right.
It's really nice to listen to.
Right. Right. Oh gosh.
But those are the kind of things I look for. But I'm sad she got. I'm just starting to learn depression glass,
Uh huh.
and I'm not going to buy. I mean, I got these catalogs that I've bought over time, and I've got one sitting on the kitchen table. Every time I have to sit down to do anything, I'm going over it, looking at it. And they're older, but it doesn't matter. You know, I know what to buy. Like coins. I'm not. I can definitely identify, you know, the level of a coin, you know, what shape it's in and stuff like that, to a certain extent.
Right.
But I'm like, well, what's a hot coin? Found out that a Walking Liberty 50-cent piece from 1921 and the quarter from 1921 are the hot items. As a matter of fact, not this last auction, but the one before that, they had one. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bid on that. They were selling 3 together, but that's the one I wanted. You know, I think the others, fine, you get a little money for it.
The other ones can go in that machine.
And I bid that sucker up to $60.
Yeah.
And I still didn't win it.
Wow.
So that there's 2 things at these auctions that I don't really. The coins. It's coins and guns. Okay. Coins, I'm getting more, you know, adapted to, but the guns, it's like I wouldn't even know how to resell one.
Right.
You know, and it's like they just take forever because. I mean, yeah, I know there's value. I mean, but I basically just like you have to sit and wait because you know these old rednecks are buying all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, oh. Now only one that I went to that took forever did I get it. I mean, I wasn't interested in buying, but every one of these guns that these people that they were auctioning off that day. Except for the shotguns, the rifles, every one, not a one went less than $1,200.
Ooh.
And I'm like, and like they had like 15 Winchester rifles, all different calibers and lever actions and blah blah blah, and they were still in the box. You know.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Those went big. And because you know they don't make Winchester anymore,
Right.
and
Wrapped in wax paper to keep the oil.
well, these had plastic,
Plastic. Oh, okay.
but anyhow, but then they had other guns, you know, all kinds of ARs and stuff like that, and all those things. I'm like, oh, you know, to me, the person that's making out big is the auctioneer.
Yeah.
But no, these people are not batting an eye. So I mean, in the guns alone, they must. I don't know, must have been $50,000 worth of guns sold, you know.
Do you think some of these people bidding were gun shops?
Or pawn shops.
Or pawn shops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well,
And I mean, I understand that's, you know, they're buying it for resale. It's just, I don't have the capacity to resell them like that. But the coins are
Certainly can't put that on eBay.
Yeah, no, you sure can. The coins, though, I can. Like I said, I'm doing more homework on it, and so those are the ones I look out for.
Right.
But god dang, I had so many coins, and luckily they came up on those first. Well, pretty much like they were like the fifth item, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to bid on those three. When I got to $60, which it was in good enough shape. I'd say in between very fine and fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was good shape. That one.
Good shape.
And when it got to 60, I'm like, because I'd checked, I'd been doing some homework, and
what would it have sold on the market to a collector?
Possibly it could have got into the 80s, but you can't take that chance.
No.
Because I'm making a determination on what the quality is.
Right.
And I'll tell you, looking at coins and stuff, if you can see the date, sometimes that's quality enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a whole pack of Buffalo nickels, and it's amazing. You look at them and they look really good, but the date's rubbed off. They just didn't wear well.
Right.
It's nickel, and I got a whole stack of them. I'm just going to have to sell them all that way,
Bold.
But anyhow, like I said, I'm learning coins, and there's other coins too. And then at this one, they had gold coins, and I guess it doesn't matter.
No, they're looking at the meltdown value on those. Yeah.
Right. So,
but can you do that in these days? Can you melt down coins, minted coins?
Yeah. Who are you going to tell?
Well, nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I've actually thought about getting getting some acetylene and oxygen just to melt metal down. I've got a bunch of sterling stuff that it's not going to sell.
Get yourself a crucible.
Yep, and just here's a chunk of silver.
Yeah.
Of course,
make a bar out of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I've got a sterling silver, British markings on it. Locket. It's a turtle. Okay, pretty cool. You open it up, and you can put stuff in there and everything. It says sterling on it. It's all the real deal. Excellent shape.
It's got hallmarks on it.
Yeah, it's
stamped
got hallmarks
on it.
Yep. And I've got it listed for $145.
Well,
and I have 167 looks.
Well, some of those hallmarks are the hallmark stamps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are valuable.
Oh, I'm telling you, I got to. When it comes to silver items and stuff, I bought a Capote one day for $20, silver, and I looked and I thought I saw some mark on there, and I couldn't. Even with I've got a little
loop.
Well, no, it's like a 40 power.
Oh, okay.
It's for looking at film.
Oh, okay.
And it must have been the light in there. I could not see the hallmark, and so. And I bought it too quick. I didn't really do my homework on that one piece, and so I got
it. To find out, it was just a dried booger.
But when I got it,
that hallmark just scraped off.
When I got it to the house or to my little hellhole, the lighting's better, and you could see it. It was faint, but it was there. So I ended up not losing money on it. But I thought, well. I think I made about $12 on it. Fine, yeah. That's fine with me.
That's profit.
Yeah, and so then I decide if I can't see a hallmark with the naked eye, I don't know if I'm even going to touch it. The next auction, I'm looking at. There was a little bit of silver and stuff. There was a salt and pepper shaker, and I turn it over, and sure enough, it says sterling on it. But I can't tell what it's saying, but I'm like, that's good enough for me. And I bought the set, salt and pepper shaker. So I get them home and I'm like, oh, and this is something, silver, right? You'd think. Not if it's Mexican silver.
Oh.
And that's what this was. So, I mean, I've got them listed, and I'm getting a few views, but not any takers yet.
Well, what is it? The quality of
No,
the
no,
silver?
no. Everybody's looking for the British stuff and
Oh, okay.
and the French stuff, and
They're looking for those hallmarks, those legendary hallmarks.
yeah. You know, and I've read up on all those, but like I said, I saw it with my naked eye. I'm like, I'm gonna get those. I got them.
You got some lookers, but ain't no biters. Huh?
No, but you know, it takes time. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm always amazed at what people go for. You know, I bought a gas iron for ironing clothes.
Sure.
At an estate sale, and the cool thing about it was it came with the little can that you poured the gas into the reservoir. Right now, this thing's all rusty. I mean, I had to blow the old dead spider bones out and all the crap out of it. You know, been sitting in somebody's barn forever. Yeah. And so I picked it up, and I had it listed for a long time. I finally dropped the price to like $650. Right. Guy in China bought it, and I'm like, out of the blue.
Why?
I don't know. He even gave me instructions. Please pack this well because cast iron, you know, if it hits hard, cast iron can break. And I'm thinking, this isn't cast iron. It wasn't either. It was, you know, it looked more like stainless, well, more like just steel.
Yeah.
Big chunk of steel that had been molded out and stuff like that. I don't care. But, you know, all that time, because I get to a point where I'm like, I'm going to go to the very end and see what it is I need to pull out and do my Salvation Army thing with it.
That's still a write-up. You want some more coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go get it. Brothers BS Breakfast.
Maybe we should B/S B.
That's kind of how I was looking at it. I don't know. Brothers BS Breakfast sounds pretty good too. That's inferring. I like that. I was kicking it because what I want to do is I want to take a picture of both of us. You got that upside down.
You don't think it's not going to pick up?
Oh, it'll pick up. But, you know, it's like a crooked picture on the wall. Make my eye twitch.
Jeez.
I got to thinking, okay, need to create a thumbnail. And I'm not very creative. I can't even draw a stick figure very well. But I know a guy. It's called AI. I think I'll reach out to AI and see if AI can put me something together. Give it the parameters. This is what I'm looking for. Because I want it to be cartoonish.
Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah.
So, you and me. And
so tell me, what are you going to do with this?
just post it.
Just
on
post
Facebook.
it on Facebook?
Facebook, yeah. I'm not going to start a YouTube channel or anything like that. I mean, it could. If you get enough, then yeah, I could redump them onto a YouTube channel.
Are you
See if we get any followers.
are you going to edit it and all that?
Oh yeah, I'll run it through the editing.
Okay, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch.
You're going to see it, and it's going to go son of a beep, son of a beep, son of a beep.
Yeah, because Facebook would go, that worked.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That doesn't fit the community standards. And whatever, you don't have community standards.
I don't have standards at all.
Me either.
I found that those really run against what I want to do.
It just is an impediment to creativity. Yeah. So what's your day looking like?
Oh, I got to go in and have my car checked out. I'm going to try and work a deal out. I've got a Winchester Model 94E.
Are you talking about Jim
Yeah, Jim
Carlton?
Carlton. Yeah.
I talked to him the other day. I said, hey, understand you and my brother may have some kind of bartering going on. He wants to trade guns for some service for some tires. He goes, yeah, he did talk to me. I said, oh, God. Hey, why not?
Hey, if I can get a set of tires, and I need him to look at my front end too,
Yeah.
that'll be okay with me.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, and I mean, let's see. Back in the day, I paid $200 for that.
Yeah.
And then Winchester went out of business.
Yeah. Value's gone up a bump or two.
Yeah, it's worth a set of tires.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Jim could hook you up because because I was there for computer something. And I was talking to him about it, and I said, yeah, I said, my brother tells me about wanting to talk to you or had talked to you about this. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I'm sure hoping that works out.
So anyhow, I think I'm going to do that. I've got some packages to mail on. I finally bought a big mailbox. Big.
Oh, did you?
So I don't have to go to the post office. Anything over 6 by 6 isn't going to work in that mailbox.
Yeah.
So I got one of the big ones. As soon as it comes in, I'll get that mounted.
Should just make your own. Can you do that? Can you make your own mailbox? It doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, as long as you do your own postage? I mean, are you using like stamps.com or stuff like that?
No, eBay has. I just use their
their shipping label.
Yeah, I think they get their stuff through Pitney and Bowes.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. That's right. They're going to provide you because that's part of your sale price.
Yeah. So, but what I'm wanting to do is I'd like to get a label maker, a label machine, that prints them out instead of me. Now I'm printing the paper on paper and then sticking them in sleeves.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things I'm considering for the end of this year is getting that incorporated into it. But, I sold.
Are you looking for one that's going to print like a 4x4 size
Label? Yeah.
labels?
I sold basically 400 items last year. Oh, not all year. I mean, I started in February, but anyhow, 400 items.
Right.
And so, and I mean, what I've got is working, but my plan is to move into that so that it's a little better, suited for me. But the thing is, I don't know if it picks up and I start selling, lots of stuff every day.
Right.
Then I'll probably want to go that way. Right now, I can handle it.
Well, I was thinking, I have a couple label printers, but I don't think they'll print that size format. And I think one's a thermal. I'm not sure. Once I get the old ghetto box cleared out and cleaned up and organized, I can look. Maybe I'll find it. I've got a box full of merchant-related stuff. I used to use a little Dymo printer for return labels, address labels, or not return, but for envelopes and stuff. But because if I've got one of those, they're more than welcome to it. I ain't gonna use it. I got a whole bunch of that crap.
Let me look at it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll do that wide a format. I know what you're looking for, but I think it'll do that wide a format.
Well, I don't know if that format's that wide is necessary.
I don't know.
But I'm anyhow, that's my next plan and stuff. I went into Woods and Woods to talk to them about how to put together my little thing. You would have loved this. So what's her name that sits at the desk there? You know,
Sheila.
Sheila. Yeah. So I come in and I had an appointment. I said, "Yeah, I got an appointment." I sit down and stuff like this. She's got this paperwork spread out, and there's just shreds of paper like that. You know, I mean, not the white stuff, but about that thick, maybe even a little smaller. Just shreds of paper. And I'm like, okay. So I told her what I need to know what I have to bring to the table here, and blah blah blah. And she goes, I don't care how you bring it, just don't bring it like this. And it was somebody's information or tax information, right? And those were all little.
And they ran it through the shredder. Thank you, Jan.
It looked like they pulled shredder paper out and wrote all the stuff on it, because it had these were receipts, and they were just like that. And she's like, I don't know what this person was thinking, but there's the receipts. And she had bunches of them.
Oh, no. Now, see, I digitize all my receipts.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I digitized them and so I could organize it.
Do you have a little machine that you run that through?
No, my all-in-one printer has scanner, copy, fax.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got you.
And then I just scan them to PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start doing that next year.
Yeah.
But anyhow, no. I'm just looking at you. I'm like, you got to be kidding. She says, you wouldn't believe all the staples I've had to pull out of this stuff. And I'm like, well, people are afraid to get the IRS on them.
Oh, geez.
But I'm not kidding. It was just shreds of paper with information on them. She goes, I don't care how you bring it, just don't bring it like this.
If it goes through my shredder goes crosshatch too. So it's just little bitty squares like this.
No, this is like the old ones.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're shredded. I think she printed this stuff up and it was small. And then she individually cut them all.
Okay.
You know
Weird.
what? I'd like to have that person as my bookkeeper. Boy, meticulous is the word.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Well, I talked to Jason a couple of weeks back. I told him, I said, okay, I need dissolution. So you guys do what need to be. Give us a week. We'll reach out to you. Man, that's 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, well, I asked him. I had a bunch of questions, but one of them was, okay, my workspace, my work area is not in the house,
right?
And he goes, yeah, we'll have to look at that.
Yeah,
because he said a few years ago that IRS sent letters out to people, is this really in your house kind of thing? And I'm like, well, it's my workspace, it's part of the property. He goes, yeah. He says, we'll look at that. But I could always just say, well, one of the bedrooms is. I mean, I do have a desk and computer and printer, and I do business in there.
Well, and the thing is that, that's for deferment. And once you sell the property, of course, I never did this. Come get me. I don't care. A certain square footage and a certain percentage of utilities, et cetera, property tax, mortgage, everything was calculated as a deduction for having a home office.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you lose that when you sell the property. I don't anticipate that you guys would ever sell that property.
If I do, I'm getting out of town because the world got crazy.
Yeah. Into the woods.
Or I'm dead.
I got my cave already plotted.
I mean, I've already said, this is where I'm going to start my dirt now.
Karen and I have already talked about there isn't really good bridges around here in Arkansas to live under. Unlike in Oregon, where they're nice and they're paved and they're clean. Well,
with a bathroom.
With a bathroom. Yeah.
This bridge comes with facilities.
Make your camp here.
That's one of my prouder moments. You ever been to Hoover Dam? Mm-hmm. You know those two things sticking up? Those are bathrooms.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went in. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I went, men's? I can say I took a leak
I wonder how far that poop chute is.
I don't know, but I bet it goes quick. Bathroom. Check it out.
No, I didn't know that. I thought that those were.
Nope.
I didn't know what they were.
Their facilities.
I'll be darned. Well, I've never gotten out and walked on it, but
Oh, yeah.
I drove across it.
I had to go to the bathroom. Of course, they've got the little center.
Can you imagine just hanging your butt over the edge of that thing?
Yep.
You think it would the wind would carry it?
Not mine. It'd leave a brown streak all the way down to the bottom. Good God, dude. What do you have to eat?
Oh man, that's nasty.
It is.
Mm. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that those were bathrooms.
I don't know what they originally were, but that's what they are.
I'll be darned.
And it was worth it.
Wonder if she sells. I wonder if Jan sells coffee filters in here. I used the last one this morning.
Coffee filters.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of Mr. Coffee kind of thing?
Yeah. Kara says, "Well, we got those V-shaped ones we could use." I said, "No, those make a mess. They're not designed for this."
Plus, those others, you can eat popcorn in them.
Yeah. if we made popcorn.
Oh man. 3 years ago, I bought Liz a popcorn maker, little trolley-looking thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's got the real popcorn maker, and it makes great popcorn. You know, and so it's kind of one of our little after-dinner mint things. So I enjoyed making popcorn.
I worked in the concession when Mary and Mark were still married, and Glenda and her husband owned the racetrack there in somewhere around close to Texarkana. Can't remember where it was. It's stock car.
Yeah, it's right off the freeway.
Yeah, I'd worked in that concession. That's the one and only place that I made popcorn. And I'm like, how much grease we put in here? Enough.
Yeah.
Big old chunk of lard. Butter lard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prep.
Mm-hmm.
I use coconut oil. It doesn't burn.
Oh,
You know, it doesn't create a lot of smoke.
okay.
And that's what I use. And it's expensive, but it works. And I mean, you're only using a little. I mean, it's maybe it might be 1.5 tablespoons. A little.
Oh,
thing to
okay.
do. So it works fine. But like I said, it doesn't smoke real bad.
So you make this this machine's in the house? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about this big.
Is it
Stands about this
tabletop
tall.
or has it got its wheels?
Yeah, it's a little trolley looking thing.
Oh,
You could-
okay.
You could roll it around if you want. But it's got the cooker, put the stuff in there and drop it down and it rotates it. And then once it stops popping, that's something you got to learn too is when it starts slowing down and stops popping, you need to flip it over and let it roll out all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, but no, it works good.
Are we
Then
done?
it's just whatever you want to add to it.
Pop good. Well, now you guys got high-speed internet. There's probably more popcorn in the horizon.
Who was I talking to the other day? Oh, at the auction. They had to ferry us up to this place. I mean,
Oh,
these
wow.
guys lived on this hill, and there was parking up there, but very limited. So they had a parking spot down below, and they would ferry you up. And I was talking to the guy, and I'm like, man, this is uptown. He goes, yeah. I says, this is like having a paved road out in the country,
Yeah.
which I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I have high-speed internet.
Shoot. You can't get any better than that.
Can't even touch me.
Nah. Nah. Now you've got
So
high
next time you
speed.
say something about, this YouTube video, great, sounds good, I'll look at it. Instead of, stop talking, I can't stand you.
Can't stand the buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling those guys as they're installing it. I think I told you. Pull up, and I'm like, hurry up, my porno is slow. This one guy goes, oh, you're tired of the buffering, huh? And I'm like, yes, I'm tired of the buffering. Liz, I do it even with Liz in the car. She'd get pissed at me. She's like, don't say it. I can't help myself.
Got to do it.
Yeah, gotta do it.
I'm agreeing.
These guys get a kick out of it.
I have no filter. Yeah. It's funny. God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I got to get coffee filters. Can't do anything outside. Oh, Jim, here's a great story for you. Okay. So I bought this little drone. Okay.
Yeah, you were telling me you were going to.
Yeah, well, I got him in, and I've got him in the lab, and I'm trying to calibrate him and get him, to where all I wanted this thing to do was to follow me and hover, right? Yeah. Okay, so I take it outside. Nice, beautiful, sunny day. Take it outside, and
it goes, woo, see you later.
Went into the crepe myrtles. Okay, I go get it. I get it out, and I'm putzing around with it and, playing with it a little bit. And I get on the side of the storage shed, and I'm facing Robert and Tina's pasture, right? And I bring it up, and it must have remembered something because it went, woo. And I'm looking at, I have my phone on it, and I'm looking at it, and I didn't track where it went. It just went around the shed. And then I saw in the video that it landed in the grass. Okay, well, I'll go get it. Can't find it. I cannot find it. That was the most funnest 15 minutes I've had with that $100 toy. I told Kara, I said, I don't, Fred and I are out there looking. I'm in their pasture over there looking. I'm doing trigonometry in my head, trajectory, speed, writing out the old stories. How long does it take the train traveling at this far to get to New York kind of thing? Can't find it. Can't find it. And I would have thought, the drone itself is about 4 or 5 inches maybe. But with the arms spread out, you're about 8 inches, you'd think. But it's slate gray, blends in with those dead gum leaves. I have no idea. I have no idea.
A neighbor kid to find it.
Yeah.
We'll come over.
Oh, I'll find it first time I mow. Oh, there it is.
No, that one the kids got me, which I was excited about it. And the cool thing about that one, if you lose contact with it, it just automatically just hovers. You can hear it, and it's hovering 4 feet off the ground. And but that one would do the following and everything. My whole thing I wanted to do with it was just to fly it down to the barn and mess with the horse. That's really what I wanted to do.
Well,
and I'm like, yeah. But good software came with it.
I'm like, how could I lose this thing? And it's connected via Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how can I lose this thing? Well, Fred decided to buy one. He called me from Houston. He says, yeah, I got a drone. He says, I've experienced the same dadgum thing you are trying to calibrate it. It's going everywhere and bashing into stuff. And I said, do this. Get yourself one of those marker flags. Secure it to the top of it with a bright orange flag, like that color of that thing there, so you don't lose it. I said, I wish I'd have done that with mine because it's gone. It is gone.
Don't worry, spring's coming.
I'll never.
Your mower will be tuned right up.
I did that. I had a T-Mobile phone. I don't know what, a Nokia or something. Anyway, I had it in a holster. And I'm mowing Karen's mom and dad's yard. And I'm mowing along. And, I don't know, what was that? I don't know. Finish up the mowing. I'm going, where's my phone?
No.
I go over to where I heard that. And there it was in 100,000 pieces. I go back in the house, get me a freezer bag, and I pick all the pieces up. And it reminded me, I don't know what movie it was or story it was, but I went to T-Mobile and I tossed it on the counter. I said, give me another one of them. That was a good one. Kid just went, oh my God, what happened to this thing? More got it.
I tried to get away from it.
It tried to get away. I fixed its little red wagon. It was something about throwing a dead dog up on the counter. Give me another one of them. That was a good dog.
Which reminds me, remember that BlackBerry you gave me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you gave me a flip phone with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I listed them both together, right?
The Alien 2 and the BlackBerry.
Forever sat there. Finally got somebody. I mean, I sold it for $6.80.
The BlackBerry?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's a BlackBerry that doesn't have there's no camera to it.
Yeah.
No camera, no nothing.
Well, that's like the ones they gave us in the government. We couldn't have cameras on.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
that was my first BlackBerry.
The guy was from Long Island, and I get a message after he pays for all this, and he says, "You can keep the flip phone. I just want the BlackBerry and your little holster that came with it."
Right.
No problem. I mean, and I told him, I said, "I got another one if you want it." I don't know what makes plastic do this, but that one, you can pick it up with your thumb because it's sticky.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know. Alcohol will clean that up, though.
Yeah. So, I took some methyl ethyl ketone to it. It cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll take alcohol with it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so it finally sold. It's one of those things. It's like out of the blue, somebody found something they want.
That's probably still. I think that thing still probably has a SIM card in it. Not that that'll matter any, but.
Oh, I've got another item to be checked. I think I'll go ahead and stick it in my computer and see, because I've got.
I keep forgetting to bring you those jump drives you gave me.
Yeah, whenever you think about it, or if you want them, it's up to you. But it's another memory. It's another memory box. Hopefully, I'm going to find the jackpot. I told you I literally have a booklet with all the passwords this person had. I tried the PayPal account.
No good.
Yeah. Barking up the wrong tree. So I thought, well, whatever, So anyhow, I'm gonna check this out and see what's on it.
Oh, jeez.
I got a box of stuff I bought yesterday, and there was a couple cameras. One's a film camera. I thought, pop it open.
Still filming?
Still had film in it. Yeah. But the other one,
take that down to Walmart and then get that developed.
I don't think it's going to be much. But the other one's got a SIM card in it, and I'm going to check that out and see what pictures they took.
Was it a SIM card or is it a micro SD card?
Oh, it's a
SD card.
SD card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow,
got to see what's in it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's porn.
Bring it by. Give it to me. I'll check it out for you. Make sure that it's not infected.
Yeah.
Pop those ones you gave me. I'm going, oh, okay, because it's going to go through my sandbox.
Right, I know.
And what is that? Oh, stupid. Ain't nothing. Stupid.
Wasn't nothing, huh?
Yeah, give me that.
Why are you saving that?
There was actually, I think I told you this. One had some kind of journal, a financial journal on it. It in PDF. It was like scanned journal or something.
Yeah.
Someone's ledger. I didn't read it. Wasn't interesting to me.
No.
Yeah.
So I've decided I'm going to do a scrapbook.
Is your light still on?
Is it? Battery's dead already?
It shouldn't. Push that button. May have inadvertently.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I bet.
May have inadvertently shut it off.
All that cool stuff we did.
I know, dead burn it. That, technical difficulties.
So I'm going to make a scrapbook of all these ancillary things I find. You know, like I've got a picture of a bunch of guys, a bunch of musicians from 60s or 50s. It's a black and white picture of these guys that are holding guitars and stuff like that.
Promo shot.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then there's letters. I've got letters, you know, from folks that, guys that were writing home from the military. And
Right.
so it's kind of like, I'm going to keep this stuff just for interesting reading maybe someday for somebody else. I do have a journal that I've been keeping, but I don't keep up with it every day. Matter of
Is it
fact,
your personal journal or?
it's I wouldn't even call it a journal. It's more like a scrapbook. It's just stuff that I've come on that I thought was interesting. I just put it in. It's in a ledger book.
Oh, I see.
And like I've got the first two mercury dimes I ever found with my metal detector. Found them in the backyard. You know, I'm like, let's see what we got out here. Oh, check it out, mercury dime. And
Didn't come from our family.
no, you won't find that in our yard. And
You find a nail.
yeah, so you know that kind of stuff, and some other things, some of my thoughts, and some poetry and crap that I just throw in there. But I've got but I was at an auction, bought this stuff, and it was a binder with things to put brand new, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to use that to start my little
Oh, okay.
story journey. So yeah, you know, again, there's stuff that you're not going to sell it,
Yeah.
but it's interesting to me anyhow.
Right.
And so I want to just
Well, you know, Dad sat down with my tape recorder and did those
yeah.
talks.
Yeah.
And that memorialized his talks. I mean, and everybody's got a copy of that, I assume. And what you're talking about is the same thing. You're kind of memorializing things
Yeah.
for, you know,
So
your,
So,
kid,
yeah, that-
your
that-
kids will sell it on eBay.
well, I don't know. I doubt if they'll even do that. But I'm just putting this together because, well, first it's collecting everywhere, and I don't want that. I need to put it in someplace, and I figured that'll work. You know, I'll do that, and just build it up over time. And somebody wants to look at it and go, "That's interesting," you know.
Well, you know, like we used to do with the family pictures, we had a box.
Yeah.
Maybe get yourself a tub.
No, I'm just gonna. I don't get that much stuff.
Get a
But-
small tub.
Yeah. But there's like I said, I don't know, just something I thought, well, I can do this. It's not like I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, who was I talking to? Nick and Judy called me, and they had they had an issue with they couldn't get internet. Now they have AT&T, and AT&T's been having issues in town, and you know, dropping and things like that. So I went out there, and Nick asked me. He says, "Well, how you liking retirement?" I says, "I don't know what to do with myself." I said, "I'm used to structure, you know, and schedules and windows and you know, working within those parameters." I said, "Now that I really don't have that," and Judy says, "Well, I'm sure you got a honeydew." I said, "Yeah, that honeydew list goes on. It's on the list. I'll get to it when I get to it," kind of thing. But
Kind of like a run chart.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's out of tolerance.
yeah.
But everything else this is the honeydew list, and then the honey screams at you, and you went out of the upper control limits.
It's currently in a diamond right now, which is the question. What do we do with this? Oh, went into wait state symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, she just elevated it. Okay, so it goes up here into process. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I miss those days, don't you? Let me draw a picture for you.
Yeah, let me flow it out.
Why you need to do this. See this last bubble right here? That means they're fired. If you don't do all this other stuff.
This is called in process.
Yeah.
There is nothing after that. Oh, God. I used to love flow charting.
Yeah, I kind of like it too.
I've done.
It looked good. Nobody listened to it.
Yeah, here's how it's supposed to work.
Did you ever do a Ishikawa fishbone?
I did, yeah, fishbone
Yeah,
diagrams, yeah.
I like those.
Those were cool, but I still go back to the flow charts. I don't know. It just seemed more logical to me.
Oh no. Actually, the fishbone was just basically prioritizing your what you call it
Well,
brainstorm.
yeah, you put
Prioritizing your brainstorm.
yeah, you put all the ideas up there on the fishbone, and then
But
change the ribs around.
yeah, I always like the run charts. Because
Well, it's just the linearization of it just made so much more. It's like programming. You're going through. It's doing this. It's doing this. Oh, you got this subroutine that does this over here, and then comes back, and you continue your flow. That's how a flow chart is. It just made sense to me. I don't know. I often do them a lot in my head. Okay, where am I at in the state of this flow?
well, I think
Map.
I think I've gotten to the point where, like, a lot of the folks are like, "Why are we doing this exercise? I know what's wrong," and it's like, yeah, I get it now.
Yes, you know what's wrong, but we need to identify what led us to this.
And people are like,
This
I don't
breakdown.
Have time. I don't have time for that.
We're just going to blame that department over there.
Yeah.
Call it good.
That's what we do every time.
Yeah. Well, now, kids, the flow chart is that there's no human at fault, but the process is bullshit. It's accounting.
Yeah.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, bud, I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
I gotta take a piss in the bathroom. But,
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it outside. All right. Well,
okay,
yes.
fans, whoever you are, you're stupid enough to watch this.
Yeah, BBB.
Yeah.
BBSB.
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 Now we're calling on BBSB.
You're watching BBSB
This thing went
TV.
This thing went dead again.